41 paper leaks in 15 states. That's how many leaks India has seen in the last 5 years. Now these leaks, they've affected 1.5 crore job seekers who applied for over 1 lakh vacancies. And the latest is the NEET UG paper leak, where over 30 lakh students are currently in a limbo for the medical entrance examinations. Is control-based access the solution for paper leaks in India? How do you fix India's paper leak problem? Joining me to discuss this today are Vikram R. Singh, entrepreneur, blockchain consulting firm EduBlock, advocate Anubhav Srivastava Sahai, and in the studio with me is my colleague Karthik Malhotra. Karthik, a serious problem with paper leaks, one after the other. There's a series of paper leaks. What are the kind of solutions that the government is looking at to fix this?
Sandeep, I think, it's interesting that we live in a country, we are the largest democracy.
Yes.
We can conduct free and fair elections.
Yes.
We are unable to create and conduct free and fair examinations. So, I think it's a dichotomy. You have the solutions, you have the technology, you have agencies which can operate at scale and ensure that not a single ballot is compromised.
Yes.
But you are unable to control just 25 lakh students appearing for an examination, and you have cases of paper leak happening. I mean, technology is there, whether EVM sort of technology or perhaps something more cryptic like the blockchain, where there is a lock and there are multiple keys available to a lot of distributed ledgers which can unlock that particular lock. But the point is, there's got to be the intention, there's got to be the political will, and you've got to know that something is not right and that something needs to be fixed and fixed urgently. Year on year, you can't have a recurring problem like this.
We can't have a recurring problem, Karthik. And it's interesting that this conundrum that you mentioned, that we are doing exceedingly well in certain areas, but we seem to take a beating in others. We send a rocket to the moon, but we are unable to design an assault rifle. That's the technical conundrum.
True.
Like we live in.
If free and fair examinations is rocket science, who better than India to do that rocket science, right?
Let's ask the person at the center of it all, Mr. Vikram Singh, blockchain consulting firm EduBlock. Mr. Singh, welcome to the News9 Plus show. Tell us what EduBlock could do for exams. How do you plan to fix this problem? You've made a couple of presentations on your app. Tell us how it works. This point that Karthik made, that we've got the technology to make 80 crore people vote without a problem, but we simply can't seem to get people to write examinations without papers leaking.
So what we believe that this entire system, like the problem is more of a system problem. Like we always keep saying that it's a kind of like a people's problem, it's the people corruption, but we believe it's the system problem, because if you look at how the system works currently, like you decide certain questions and then you send the paper for the printing, then somebody collects the printed paper and then send them over to the kind of centers. So the entire process is like quite the entire value chain. If you say there are so many areas, so many where this leakage can happen. So it's not a it's the system problem. So what we have done, like we have designed a solution like which is called EduBlock Pro over blockchain. So as you know, like blockchain is synonymous to trust, but most of the time we just think the moment we think of blockchain, we think of cryptocurrency.
That's right.
But if you go behind it, so what we have done, so using the cryptography and the time-based and based encryption. So what we have done, we have removed the people interference from the entire process. So what we have done, we have shifted the trust from people to the machine. So as long as you are able to maintain a database which is like on the DLT, and all the questions are on the DLT and making the sanity, ensuring the sanity of that same, and you can simply instruct the system the kind of a question paper you want to design, and the moment this process is done, so we kind of lock the entire digital packet with the private key of the admin, which has been prepared without like him getting a look or maybe seeing any question, right? And this question paper, this packet can only be unlocked by when the candidate's key is applied and even the invigilator's key is applied, and that too on the day of examination, an hour early. So we have done this last year only. So we conducted 2 POCs with the Health Department of Punjab, wherein I would say like we created history, wherein first time in the history of India, a question paper and in a trustless fashion, which means like no human interference. and printed in a real-time environment. So what we propose over here that if you shift the entire process onto the technology, right?
Right.
And let the system do its job, and you can cut down the 100% challenges, the logistic challenges which which are there, as you have to provide the ballot box like security to all the
Yes.
question people. And we have already proved that part. And so you can conduct a very fair examination on blockchain, so using this system.
Right. It sounds interesting what you just mentioned, Mr. Singh. And I mean, this is possibly the debate that was in India about 30 years ago when EVMs were being introduced,
That's
the
right.
early days of electronic voting machines. But let's ask Anubhav Srivastava about this. That why is it that, Mr. Srivastava, that we haven't thought of using electronic means to ensure there's no copying, there's no paper leakages, to do to examinations what electronic voting machines did to voting?
Yeah, this is a very good idea actually, and that this can be implemented. See, as far as NEET exam is concerned, more than 25 lakh students appeared, around 25 lakh.
Yes.
As far as JEE is concerned, that exam is not in pen and paper mode. And in JEE exam, mostly NTA conducts JEE mains, but IIT, they conduct JEE advanced. So sometimes there are instances in JEE mains also, which is an online exam. The students have carried mobile phone inside the examination center, but they have been caught. So it's easy to conduct an exam for JEE students because the strength is almost around 8 lakhs. Here the students who are enrolling for this NEET exam is more
Yes.
than 24 lakhs. And we
Yes.
don't have this facility available everywhere. So
Right.
yes, the suggestion being given by our panelists is really good, where we can use the technology as far as the papers are concerned. We can do the system. We can use AI technology also.
Yes,
So
we
the
can.
invigilator will
But
only be able.
thanks, Mr. Chawatha. I'll just ask Mr. Singh about this technology. A couple of questions. I mean, does it do away with papers altogether? Is it like a paperless examination? And do you have the ability to conduct an examination simultaneously across the country? I mean, the technological challenges of catering to more than 2 million students across the country. Is that QED?
Yes, definitely. This solution can be scaled operationally very easily, because all you need is a good printers, and that too after one printer after every 500 students. So like even today, like when the government agencies conduct the examination, they go for the infrastructure support from the universities, the
Right.
colleges, or maybe the schools, and also deploy hundreds and thousands of computers as well. That too on a rental basis. So our solution is very simple, and I would say like you can simply have one printer after every 500 students, and with the blockchain technology, and even if you want to conduct it as, in a remote area where you don't have the internet, we can keep the entire stuff onto the blockchain,
Right.
and conducting the examination, we can sync the nodes sitting in the exam center, and in the the data in the server room as well.
Right.
So I don't foresee any challenges operationally, because we have already done that on a small scale, and we are fully prepared to do it on a large scale as
Right.
well.
So, tell us, Mr. Singh, about that examination that you conducted in Punjab. You mentioned that you'd successfully done it the first time. And, how many students were involved in this examination? What were the challenges you faced, and how did you kind of overcome it?
So we conducted two examinations. The sample size was like 300 approximately, students and candidates, I would rather say. And so first exam was for hiring of a lab technician, and the second was one for the lab staff nurses. So this was done for Health Department of Punjab in the month of December last year only, and white paper was also published by Honorable Health Minister. Dr. Balbir Singh, I guess. So that was also there, and anybody can go and look at that white paper. So what we have done in this case as well. So we let the machine design the question paper, and then we provided we made the candidates the stakeholder, like where the the decision packet is at those questions. So till the time the candidates key is not provided, nobody can open that. Nobody can, unlock that digital bracket. So candidate key and also the invigilator key is applied an hour before the exam takes place. And when this is applied, the in the real time, the question paper comes out of the, the printer. So that's how we did the entire thing, and it went very well, and it was a success, I would say. And now we are looking more, bigger challenges to solve, maybe on a statewide or maybe any maybe on the center countrywide as well.
Statewide and countrywide. But Karthik, any challenges that this could face, this technology? I mean, of course, we are quite resistant to technology and changing. I mean, I'm surprised how EVM so stealthily came in, and they've become like 20 years now. Absolutely. We've been conducting elections without any major glitches. But do you foresee any challenges for this?
I mean, as I'm visualizing this entire chain of blockchain-enabled examinations, I'm just seeing a lot of challenges and a lot of, connections which can snap. Number one, you've got to have computers.
Yes.
Right. I'm sure schools and centers where examinations are conducted do have computers. Are those robust enough? Are they spruced up enough to be able to, undertake blockchain-driven activities? Number one. You've got to train people. So right now, your invigilator system is fairly simple. You get staff from the school or from the universities to come and just make sure that the examination is being conducted and nobody is sort of, talking to each other and the basic discipline is maintained. But here you will need the invigilators also to understand how to operate the machine.
Right.
You've got an active internet connection. If you don't have an active internet connection, internet snaps, there's a power fluctuation, the entire blockchain philosophy can go for a toss.
Disrupted.
And then you've also got to need to have printers and capable printers, cartridges loaded. I'm saying, there are too many moving parts, and the possibility of something snapping right on the day of the examination and then a re-examination or grace marks or any of that dropping up again opens up an all new Pandora's box for any examination conducting agency.
So let's ask Mr. Singh about this. Mr. Singh, too many moving parts, as Karthik just said, and he's someone who looks at crypto very closely. What could go wrong in a situation like this? If you're talking of electricity disruptions, machines not working, invigilators not being trained to use machines properly. I mean, have you kind of drawn up a list of challenges, and how do you kind of propose to fix these?
Yeah, I totally agree with Mr. Karthik, because he is very fair, like when he says that. So how we plan to solve these challenges, as I earlier said, presently we only require a printer and a computer. That's it, and it's as easy to use as you are using WhatsApp only, right? So for the where the center where you don't have the internet, we can have a local nodes deployed. See, the cost of having a question paper leak is much higher than the cost of applying these operational, solving these operational challenges. These are very simple and operational challenges, I would say. And by applying maybe or with the careful planning, you can very well in advance mitigate these challenges. Because what if you need to have even another printer as a backup printer as well? Right? Because what we are talking about, ensuring the integrity of the exam system, right? Where you are having hundreds and thousands of PCs to be deployed on a rental basis, then I think in front of those challenges, this is very minuscule or very small challenges to address. So having one invigilator, so passing the key or maybe pressing a button is not a challenge for him to, taking the key of the student. And you can, if you want to remove this plus, you can simply put it on the biometric as well, where you can have their Aadhaar number, maybe iris scan. You can simply, ensure that it is the right candidate who has registered for the examination. And at the same time, as I said, having a printer and a computer in place, in the technology, in the lab. And you can also plan for a maybe backup of a printer and system, because a blockchain can operate without internet as well. You can, when you have all the data synced in a node, it can work in an internet fashion as well. So you definitely would need, I would say, these backup plans. So I totally agree with him that these kind of backup operations are, the backups are required. However, my only submission is the cost of ensuring or maybe the kind of the loss the candidate goes
the
into,
benefits
the one
outweigh the risks, as you were mentioning, and that's something that we probably wouldn't know, Karthik, unless we actually kind of, started it somewhere. We had to start it somewhere. I'm sure EVMs also had that same challenge.
I'm sure.
In the early days, when, you're looking at whole-scale, booth capturing. And booth capturing is something that's gone completely out of our lingo now. I mean, no one talks about it anymore. And hopefully that could be the way to go forward with paper leaks. I mean, from being so endemic, every single day or literally a leak a day, we could possibly go on to a future where we're looking at, leakless examinations. Yes, Mrs. Vikram Singh, last point before.
Yeah,
Yes.
so see, our vision is to make this application as the de facto protocol, how the blockchain application will be implemented in the e-governance initiative.
Yes.
And that's what we are after as the ambassador of the blockchain, because we are running one of the largest blockchain consulting out of Mohali. And
Yes.
so as the ambassador of the blockchain, our vision is to, make India as the blockchain capital of India. And the way the government is moving with the fintech initiative, like making it as a fintech capital of the world, we want to see the same on the blockchain side as well. So,
absolutely. Who knows? So, blockchain could be the solution for NEET and several other examinations that India is wrestling with, leak after leak after leak. And that is the kind of technology that India should be adopting. You have the gold standard of India's elections being conducted now for 20 years without any major incidents. So, possibly blockchain technology could come to our rescue to solve our leaking examination system. But thank you very much, Mr. Vikram Singh, Anubhav Srivastav, and my colleague Karthik Malhotra for joining us this evening.